So, good evening, or afternoon, and welcome inside Pascack Hills High School to the Michael J. O'Brien Court for Game 1 of 3 of tonight's triple header of boys basketball action for the Pascack Hills Broncos. Each of these three games will see three different Broncos teams take on the Riverdale Hawks. And we start off with the stars of tomorrow for the Broncos. It's the freshman team who last time out, just over a week ago, clobbered Indian Hills with a whopping 57-28 win over Indian Hills last time at home. We see them coming back to get their huddles and their pregame warm-up talk. We'll go over to our PA announcer, Paul Henry, and then it'll be tip-off time for our first of three games tonight. So here we are, ready to go once again. As you saw here on the PH Athletics channel last Tuesday afternoon, it was the freshman team against Indian Hills. As we mentioned, 57-28 victory in that game. They hope to replicate it tonight against Riverdale.
Yeah, I'm ready.
And we're with you tonight on the PH Athletics YouTube channel, your home to all of Pascack Hills Athletics. There's the tip. It'll go Hills' way. And it'll be Wenkus, who gives it back to Kyle Marquez. Kyle there, then gives it to Leo Kaufman, number 3. He gives it back to Kyle Wenkus. Then here comes Marquez back to Wenkus. And Wenkus is going to give it back to Marquez. He's going to try and drive in. Finally puts it up, and 2 for Kyle Marquez there. That's the first points of the game. Boxing in Nunez for Riverdale. As his pass goes over, gives it to Liam Cazo, gives it to Kyle Marquez, dribbling it around, looking for a pass, cross court almost to Leo Kaufman, who drives in and gets another 2 for Pascack Hills right there. And a big steal for Kyle Marquez, misses the layup, but it's rebounded by Kyle Wenkus, who has his layup blocked. And it'll go out, and it'll go Riverdale's way. Already substitutions for Riverdale. It'll be Salick coming in. He'll take the inbound with Kyle Wenkus covering him.
Wait for it.
And inbound will go back to Salick. He's going to give it to Panucci. And now Thomas puts it up and in for the first points for Riverdale today. Here's Kaufman all the way over to Marquez, now into Kaza. Kaza pulls up and gets another 2. How about that? 3 different scores from 3 different players here to start off the night. As another layup for Riverdale, this time by Silverstein. But it's going to be Kaza inbounding to Kaufman, who inbounds to Marquez. Marquez over to Ari Shashua. And he's going to give it over to Kaufman. Kaufman for 3, no good. He's going to have it rebounded by Marquez, and Marquez is going to miss a layup there, and it'll be stolen by Riverdale. That is Salick bringing it up for Riverdale. Nunez now back to Salick. And Salick's going to give it back to Nunez. Back over to Salick now, looking to drive in and looking for a pass here. He's going to give it back to Nunez, who pulls up for 3. In and out, no good. It's rebounded by Pascack Hills. Wenkus pulls it down. He gives it up to Kaufman. Almost loses it there. Keeps it with him now, gives it to Marquez. Marquez with a screen from Kaza. Over to Kyle Wenkus. Back to Marquez now up top of the key. Looking to pass, gives it back to Wenkus. Wenkus over to Kaufman. Kaufman to Ari Shashua. Shashua driving in, out to Kaza, out to Kaufman. And finally, Wenkus with the corner 3, in and out, no good. 6-4 is the score. 5 minutes 15 on the clock here in the first quarter. Salick now, and it's travel on Riverdale. Exactly what the Broncos wanted to see. Here's Marquise bringing it up for the Broncos. He's going to cross over, gives it to Shashua. Shashua over to Kaufman. Kaufman spin move, drives in, and puts up another jumper for another 2. 8-4 now the score. As it'll be Salick once again taking it up for Riverdale. Michigan. Now over to Nunez. Over to Salick once again. He's going to give it to Thomas. And the layup's going to be good from Silverstein there. Marquise. Big cross court to Kaza. Then it goes to Wenkes. Wenkes back to Marquise. And Shashua, long, high 3. It's in. Big shot for Ari Shashua there, and that's going to put Hills up 11-6. Now Wenkes covering Salick on the inbound. He's going to get it back. Shashua with the steal there. What a play that is on defense for Ari Shashua. He's going to drive in, gives it out. Wenkes wide open through the corner, and another 3-ball for Kyle Wenkes here, his first 3-pointer of the night. And it'll be Salick bringing it up in double coverage now. Gives it over to Nunez. They back off, coming down. And now Salick back, looking for a pass. Gives it to Nunez. Has it stolen by Marquise. Almost has it blocked. No good. And it'll be a Bronco inbound here. So Ari Shashua on the inbound. He's going to give it out to Kyle Wenkes, who gives it back to Shashua. High 3 off the top of the backboard there, but it's going to be Kaufman who gets the rebound and puts it up and in. 10-point lead for the Broncos here, just about halfway through the first quarter. Tip pass, Kaufman's got it. He's going to give it to Wenkes, who can't keep it with him. And in comes Jacob Cherkis for Kyle Marquise. So it'll be an inbound for Riverdale here. Salick with it. He's going to give it to Nunez. And Nunez brings it up all the way over to Thomas, who almost loses it, but Wenkes has got it for Hills. And now Cherkis gives it out to Shashua. Back to Cherkis in the corner. Gives it back to Shashua. He's going to try and drive in. Gives it to Kaufman. From the top of the key. No good off the back of the rim. And it's Nunez taking it up for Riverdale now. Gives it over to Thomas. Thomas back to Nunez. And it looks like it'll be a foul here on Kyle Wenkes. And it'll be both John Giantonio and Logan Nassau coming in. On the inbound for both Ari Shashua and Kyle Wenkes here. Only foul of the night for Kyle Wenkes. As it'll be an inbound for Riverdale. Takes it in. Ooh, and another foul it looks like. And this time it'll be on Logan Nassau, who just subbed in. Once again on the inbound, it will go out this time, and it will go Pascack Hills' way, out off of Silverstein. So it'll be Nassau inbounding to Jacob Cherkis. Cherkis looking for a way around the double coverage, gives it over to Giantonio, but has it intercepted, and it'll go Riverdale's way. Layup is good from Nunez, and that'll make it a 16-8 game, 2 minutes to go in the first here. Cherkis looking for a way around the double coverage once again, gives it to Nassau, and it'll be a carry, it looks like here. Whatever it is, it's an inbound for Riverdale as Thomas will take it in. He'll give it to Nunez, who'll take it up for Riverdale here. Over to Sayalik now. Looking to drive in as Marquise has subbed in. Into the big man Panichian, who puts it up, and it's no good. Tip goes back Riverdale's way. And it looks like this might be a shooting foul here. And I don't know if you heard that, but it'll be on Giantonio, that foul. 2 shots from the line for Thomas. Makes the first 16-9 game now. Kyle Wenkus and Ari Shishua coming in for Liam Kaza and Jacob Cherkis. Kaza played the entire game so far. He'll come off for a well-deserved rest. No good off the front of the rim for the second free throw from Thomas. It will go Pascack Hills his way. Nassau is going to take it up. He gives it into Giantonio. And a great pass, a great layup there. 18-9 the score. Inbound in double coverage. It goes out and it goes Riverdale's way. Inbound back to Riverdale, goes out again, and it goes Hills' way. In comes Kaza for John Giantonio here.
Hey, let's go box one.
So Wenkus with the inbound, who will give it to? Gives it out to Kaza, to Shishua now. Now back to Nassau after the pass from Marquise. Wenkus drives in, gives it to Kaza, out to Marquise. Marquise trying to drive in. Spin move pass to Nassau into Kaza, and in and out, no good on the layup. Who's it going to go to? It goes to Riverdale. Possibly a missed travel call there, but Nunez will take it up the court nonetheless. Sayalik now looking for it in double coverage, now driving in. Silverstein out to Nunez. And here comes Nassau up the court for the Broncos. Looking to someone to give it out to. Gives it out to Shishua. Sky high three, no good.
Get back! Run back, Mike! Run back!
And it's Nunez who will take it up the court now for Riverdale. Once again, number 2 gives it to Sayalik. And into the big man, number 33, Silverstein, who makes a layup. 15 on the clock in the first quarter, 18-11 the score. Broncos in control of the score and the ball. Wenkus driving in, almost loses it. Now Marquise driving in, out to Nassau, over to Shishua. Sky high three, doesn't fall again. And the end of the first quarter will leave Pascack Hills up. Score 18-11. Great first quarter for the Broncos here. We'll come back with 3 more quarters of action. Ready to get back to it at the start of the second quarter here. It'll be a Riverdale inbound. Score 18-11. Pascack Hills with the lead. And so it'll be Sayalik inbounding to Paputkowicz. He gives it back to Sayalik. Now Paputkowicz, number 22. He's got it at the top of the key, looking for a way around both Marquise and Kaufman. Now gives it back to Sayalik, now back to Paputkowicz. He's going to give it into Thomas, who gives it into Nader. And Nader gives it to Silverstein, the big man, but misses the layup, and it goes Pascack Hills' way. Kaufman taking it up the court, crossing over, gives it to Wenkus. Wenkus is going to get fouled here. It looks like should be 2 from the line, and the first foul on Riverdale. And it'll be on Salick, number 11. 2 shots from the line for Kyle Wenkus here. Drills the first one for a 19-11 game. Has a little bit of a switch for Riverdale. And Wenkus misses the second. Goes Riverdale's way, 19-11 the score. Here comes Salick bringing it up the court. Gives it back to Paputkowicz, who immediately gives it back to Salick. Salick back to Paputkowicz. Gives it back to Salick once again. Will he pass it again? Looks like he will. Yep, back to number 22. He gives it in to Nader. Nader back out to 22, just barely keeps it in bounds. And now Salick's got it. Tipped out by Wenkus, it looked like, and it'll go Riverdale's way. So Paputkowicz on the inbound here for Riverdale. He'll give it out to Thomas, then Nader, and now it'll go Hills' way with Wenkus taking it up the court very quickly here. Gives it back to Shashua, now to Marquise, now to Kaufman. Corner 3 is no good, and it goes Riverdale's way. Salick bringing it up the court once again for the Hawks. Gives it over to Paputkowicz, back to Salick. Silverstein out to Salick, and Salick for 3, no good. It goes back to Riverdale. Paputkowicz over to Salick. He's going to give it in on a bullet pass to Silverstein, who makes the layup. 19-13 game here. Marquise will take it up off the inbound from Shashua. 6 minutes to go in the first half here as Marquise gives it out to Shashua, who's going to try and drive in, pulls up, no good, just barely no good there, but now Kaufman out to Marquise, looking for a shot, now drives in, and it'll go out on Riverdale here. Marquise takes it in off the inbound from Shashua. Now gives it back to Wenkus. Over to Shashua now. Back to Marquise. Over to Wenkus, and Wenkus drives in. No good there. Kaza loses it. It'll go out on Riverdale. So it'll be another inbound here for Pascack Hills. And the sub in will be Panichian in for Silverstein. So the 2 big men will sub out for Riverdale here as Shashua signals the break, gives it into Kaza, out to Kaufman now, looking for a way around Paputkowicz. He gives it to Marquise. Marquise out to Shashua. He gives it to Kaza. Now Kaza over to Wenkus. Everybody getting a touch on this position. Now Kaza pulls up from the foul line, in and out and no good. And now Riverdale gets it with Paputkowicz taking it up. He gives it to Salick. Salick now looking for any way around Leo Kaufman. Gives it back to Paputkowicz, who gives it back to Salick. He almost has it stolen by Kaufman. Bullet pass once again into Panichian, who gets another layup for Riverdale. It's a 4-point game now, just about 4 minutes left in this first half of play. Marquise with it, gives it over to Wenkus. Wenkus over to Shashua. Shashua driving in out to Marquise for 3, no good from just about the corner there, but Kaufman gets the rebound, pulls up, no good there, and it's rebounded by Riverdale. Salick with it, brings it up for the Hawks. Ends up in Thomas's hands, back to Salick there, gives it into Nader. And Nader gets it back from the foul line, in and out, no good there for Riverdale. And it'll be taken up by Shashua for Pascack Hills. Great bounce pass and 1 for Kyle Wenkus here. incredible play there from both Ari Shashua and Kyle Wenkes. Foul will be on Riverdale's Paputkowitz, and in comes Jacob Cherkis for Leo Kaufman. And here's the one for Wenkes at the line. And finishes off the three-point play with the foul shot, 22-15, and immediately comes off for John Giantonio. Well-deserved rest for Kyle Wenkes there. And Sayalik, covered by Marquise, gives it over to Paputkowitz into Thomas, who's in the middle. Now gives it to Panicci, the big man, out to Paputkowitz. Now over to Thomas. Thomas with it into Panicci, and he turns around and puts up the layup. 22-17 the score here. As Marquise with it now, looking for a way around. Gets a little bit of a screen from Kaza there. Now Kaza with it all the way over to Shashua, who drives in, puts it up, in and out on the layup. It's no good. 22-17 here. Sayalik now with it. He gives it to Paputkowitz, back to Sayalik up top. And he's going to give it into Nader, turns around, and gets the layup after giving it to Panicci. 22-19 the score now as Marquise takes it up. Marquise gives it over to Cherkis. Cherkis over to Giantonio, gives it out to Kaza. Kaza all the way over to Shashua, and it goes into the stands there.
Johnny G, you're the four.
So Wenkes comes in for Ari Shashua. And he'll cover Sayalik, who's on the inbound here. He gives it to Paputkowitz, back to Sayalik now, and up to Panicci. Panicci over to Sayalik, Sayalik back to Paputkowitz. Sayalik almost has his pass intercepted. Nader now with it, back out to Sayalik with Marquise on him, looking for a way around. Gives it to Paputkowitz over in the corner to Thomas, who gives it really to nobody there. Has it go out of bounds. And Kaufman here will come in for Kyle Marquise, who seems to have played the entire game so far. Great job from him this afternoon. But it'll be Leo Kaufman taking it up the court. He's going to give it to Jacob Cherkis, gives it out to Kyle Wenkes. Wenkes over to Kaufman, drives in, spin move, pulls up. No good on that one. And it's rebounded by Riverdale. Sayalik now with it. He's going to give it into Nader. Nader over to Panicci, who misses the layup, gets his own rebound, and is fouled here. And it'll be the first foul of the night on Liam Kaza. 2 shots from the line for Panicci. Makes the first one to make it a 2-point game here. It'll be Shashua coming in for Giantonio and Cherkis coming out for Logan Nassau here to make it a 1-point game. Here is Panicci at the line. And he misses the free throw. It's still a 2-point game in Pascack Hill's favor. And they have the ball. Kyle Wenkes bringing it up the court, gives it to Logan Nassau now. Gives it into Leo Kaufman, now out to Wenkes. Wenkes trying to go through the legs there of his defender. Shashua now up sky high, 3, no good. And it goes Riverdale's way, but in very hard press coverage here. Sayalik now with the top of the key, gives it over to Paputkowitz, now back to Sayalik, over to Paputkowitz, once again to Sayalik, top of the key, looking for somebody else, now pulls up for 3, no good, and it's brought down by Kaza. Kaza into Kaufman. Kaufman has his bounce pass intercepted by Panicci, and it'll go Riverdale's way once again here. Just under a minute to go in the half. As Hills with a 2-point lead here, but Riverdale with the ball. Into Silverstein, now out to take the lead. Paputkowitz for 3, and it's a timeout going Riverdale's way here. Now a 1-point lead for Riverdale. Their first of the night. Will take a short break. Ready to get back to action here just under a minute to go in the first half of play here. For the first time this afternoon, it is Riverdale with the lead, just 1 point over the Pascack Hills Broncos. Kyle Wankus on the inbound, who will give it to the other Kyle on the freshman team, Kyle Marquise. And so Marquise takes it up for the Broncos, just about 45 on the clock as Marquise gives it to Kaza. Kaza has his pass intercepted by Salick, and Salick takes it up, almost stolen, but it goes off of Ari Shashua, and it'll be a Riverdale inbound here, 30.8 to go. Paputkowitz now with the inbound, looking for anybody, bounces it over to Salick, who covered hard by Logan Nassau there, gives it over to Paputkowitz, now back to Salick. Salick back to Paputkowitz, looking for a way around Kyle Marquise, now back to Salick, into Nader there, and makes the short-range jumper. 11 on the clock, 10 on the clock. It's a 3-point lead for Riverdale. Marquise looking to shoot, needs a 3 to tie, puts up the 2, no good, and the buzzer is sound. 25-22 the score. Riverdale with the lead at halftime after Pascack Hills has dominated pretty much the entire game. We'll take a break for the half. Once again, this is Matthew Merlino. You're watching the PH Athletics YouTube channel. Ready to get back to action here in the second half of play. Once again, you're watching the PH Athletics YouTube channel, your home for Pascack Hills Athletics. I'm Matthew Merlino. Welcome inside the Michael J. O'Brien Court at Pascack Hills High School, where the Broncos, for the first time of the afternoon, are down just by 3 points. Scoreline 25-22. Leaders are the Riverdale Hawks here, as Kyle Marquise will take it up for our freshman Broncos. He gives it to Kyle Wenkus, who gives it over to Ari Shashua. Now Wenkus, big three, no good. And it'll go staying in. It goes to Kaza, back to Wenkus, and now Shashua for three. He's going to get one, and we're all tied up at 25. Riverdale on the inbound now, covered by two. Kyle Marquise for us, and Nunez for Riverdale. Salick with it. He's going to drive right in, unopposed, gives it on the bounce to Silverstein, who makes the layup and gives the Hawks a 2-point lead here. Our first game of 3 of a triple header of boys basketball action that you'll see live here on the PH Athletics YouTube channel. This, of course, the freshman game. We've got JV action coming up right after it, and then, of course, the nightcap varsity right around 7 o'clock. All live here on the PH Athletics YouTube channel. And it's Marquise driving in, who gives it out to Wenkus. Wenkus looking for a shot, gives it over to Ari Shashua, who puts up a 3, no good, and it's rebounded by Riverdale. Slowing it down is Nunez, who takes it up the court now for the Hawks, covered by Marquise. Salick over to Nunez, covered by Marquise once again. And Thomas into Salick for another layup. It's a 4-point lead for Riverdale now over Pascack Hills, their biggest of the night. Marquise taking it up for the Broncos. He's looking for a pass, gives it over to Kaufman, gives it out to Kaza. He's going to be fouled, it looks like, here, and he might get 2 from the line, it seems. And it'll be a foul on Silverstein, his first of the night for Riverdale. 2 shots for Liam Kaza. Kaza misses his first. Still 4-point lead for Riverdale. Misses his second. Scoreline stays 29-25, and it goes Riverdale's way. Nunez taking it up the court now, slightly faster for the Hawks. Puts up the layup, unchallenged, but it misses. And Kaza struggling there to get that rebound. And it'll be a foul on Riverdale. It'll go Broncos. It'll go the Broncos' way. So on number 23, Pinichian for Riverdale. So Shashua with the inbound to Kyle Marquise here. So Marquise bringing it up, down by 4, 6 minutes to go in the third. Marquise out to Kaufman. Kaufman for 3, gets it, and the lead's down to 1 now. Broncos trying to get it back, but it still goes on the inbound to Riverdale. Kaufman covering Salick, now in double coverage, who gives it out to Nunez here, trying to drive in with a big bounce pass there to Silverstein, who gets the layup, and it's now a 3-point lead for the Riverdale Hawks. As Marquise takes it up for the Broncos here, he gives it out to Kyle Wenkus. Wenkus over to Leo Kaufman here, gives it back to Marquise. Marquise over to Ari Shashua, and he's going to have a shot blocked there, but it goes back to the Broncos now. Shot was blocked by Pinichian. There's Marquise now with it off the pass from Kyle Wenkus. Gives it to Kaufman, top of the key, over to Kaza, driving in. Puts it up, no good, rebounded by Riverdale. And it'll be taken up by Nunez, it looks like here. Marquise on Nunez as he's going to try and cross over, get around Marquise. Just steps back a little bit there. Go around until it ends up back Nunez's way. He's going to give a little bit of a handoff there to Salick. Bounces it into Thomas. And Thomas with the pass to Kamichi, and he makes the layup to put Riverdale up by 5 here. Marquise taking it up for the Broncos. Big possession here if they want to stay in this game. Kaza. Oh, still a lot of basketball left to play, but Shishua, long, sky-high three there, no good. And it's Salick taking it up, covered by Shishua with Kaufman gliding in there. Layup's no good. Jump ball will go Riverdale's way. And it's a 33-28 game here. As Salick will inbound for the Hawks. He's going to give it to Silverstein, who loses it, and it goes Pascack Hills' way. So Shishua with the inbound, looks like it'll go to Kyle Marquise. And Marquise takes it up the court just under halfway through this third quarter of play. Crossing over, looking for a way around Nunez. Now gives it in. Was intended for Wankis, but had it intercepted, and the layup after a few passes from Nunez is good. 35-28 scoreline, and this is now the biggest lead that Riverdale has taken. Timeout for the Broncos here. Chance to regroup. 3 minutes 29 on the clock in the third quarter. Once again, scoreline 35-28. Ready to get back to action here. Third quarter of play, 3 minutes 29 on the clock. Scoreline 35-28. Riverdale leads Pascack Hills, their biggest lead of the night. Aiden Kim's in for the first time tonight. He'll inbound to Jacob Cherkis. And Cherkis takes it up the court here. He gives it to Wankis. Wankis over to Shishua. Shishua almost makes the layup, but it's no good. And goes out here on Riverdale. It goes Pascack Hills' way. This is going to be a big inbound here. Kim with the inbound, calls out the break all the way out to Kyle Wankis, who gives it to Kim in the corner, fakes the three, then gives it to Shishua. Now back up to Wankis. Wankis back to Kim. Now out to Wankis for three. No good there, but it's brought down by Kaza. And Waring there in the paint to get two from the line. Foul will be on Silverstein, his second of the night. First player to get multiple fouls tonight. And Kaza for two at the line. Makes the first, his first foul shot made of the night, and it's 35-29. As G. Antonio comes in for Kyle Wankis. Kaza 2 for 2 on his free throws there, cuts the lead down to 5. As now Nunez takes it up for Riverdale. Thomas brings it in, intercepted by Kaza. Once again, Waring to keep the ball with him and gives it out to Shishua. Shishua with the missed pass intended for Aiden Kim. It goes out, it'll go to Riverdale. Salick on the inbound. He's going to give it to Nunez, who's in double coverage. Now over to Panician, uncovered, trying to drive in. Giantonio gets on him, gives it over to Thomas. But the Broncos will get it back. No score there. As Kim, looking for a pass, in triple coverage, still makes the layup. Incredible plays from Aiden Kim. Now just a 3-point game with Riverdale still leading. As in come the Riverdale JV and varsity team. Layup was made there for Riverdale, the freshman team playing right now. 37-32 the score, back to a 5-point lead for the Hawks as Kim looking to drive. Giantonio's with it. He puts it up. No good on the layup, and it's rebounded by Riverdale.
Liam, you're in the middle.
Nunez with it.
John.
Gives it out to Salick. Salick over to Thomas, and Thomas to Silverstein. He gives it to Aiden Kim, and Kim trying to take it up. Over Shushua's head there, but he keeps it with him. Now into Kaza. Kaza loses it. Ball goes 20 feet in the air, and Giantonio ultimately is going to get a jump ball here. There's a lot of whistles needed there to calm the play down. Eventually, it'll go to Pascack Hills here as Kaufman, Wankis, and Marquise come in for Giantonio, Shurkis, and I believe Aiden Kim. Nope, Kim staying in. 6 kids on the court. And yes, Kim comes off. So it'll be Kaufman with the inbound here. He's going to give it out to Shua, over to Kaufman, corner 3, and in. There we go. And it's now a 2-point game with Riverdale still leading them with the ball. Panician now out to Nunez for 3 from the top, and it's good. Back to the 5-point game here. Marquise taking it up. He's going to drive in with a little contact there, loses it, but it goes to Ari Shashua, who puts it up. No good there. And it's rebounded by Riverdale. Nunez will take it up. Under a minute to go in the third quarter here. 40-35 the scoreline. Riverdale with the lead. Putkowitz now back on the court for the first time since the end of the first half. Thomas with it now, covered ferociously by Leo Kaufman. Gives it back out to Nunez, top of the key with Marquise on him. Putkowitz back to Nunez. Over to Putkowitz once again. He's going to give it back to Nunez. Still just a lot of passing here. Seems like they'll try and end the third quarter this way. Just trying to dribble it out, gives it back over to Putkowitz here, gives it back to Nunez, puts the 3 up to end it. And now Nunez into Motor. They do not get the shot off, it looks like, but it looks like there's a foul coming here. And it goes on Kyle Wankis. It's his second foul of the night.
Yeah, because they have, if there's a foul, stay out there.
You want me to add a second? I can add a second. But first of all, it's 23 on us.
All right, get that low. Hey, White, watch the corner. Hey,
Hold on, I gotta add
Kyle
a
Marquise, watch way to your side. Hey, Leo, 23's coming down.
So 1 second will be
23's
put on the
coming
clock
right
here
at you.
after the foul on Wankis here. It'll be for Putkowitz on the inbound, 1 to shoot. Corner 3 is very good. It's fair ball, but back there by Nunez, and that'll be how the third quarter ends. 40-35 is the score line. Riverdale with the lead over Pascack Hills, but it's not over yet. Stay tuned, just 8 more minutes of regulation basketball to be played. And guess what? A whole 2 other games ready to be played here between Pascack Hills and Riverdale. We got JV coming up right after this, and then, of course, our main event of the evening, the varsity game, right after. ready to get back to action. 8 minutes of regulation play time still to go here. And of course, always the possibility of overtime when it's just a 5-point lead for Riverdale over the Pascack Hills Broncos here. It'll be Salick inbounding to Nunez to start things off. Salick now looking for a pass, gives it into Nader. Back out to Nunez. Now Salick for three, no good. It'll be rebounded by Marquise of Pascack Hills. Kyle Marquise takes it up the court with Shashua with him in Jacob Cherkis, but he gives it to Wenkus. Kyle Wenkus there. Now gives it to Cherkis, trying to drive in over to Ari Shashua. Now back out to Wenkus, looking for the three shot, can't get it. Now Shashua into Liam Kaza off the pass from Wenkus, and Kaza with the layup, 3-point lead for Riverdale here. And Wenkus all over his number 23 counterpart Panichian for Riverdale here. Nunez takes it up. Now Panichian with it in double coverage, and a travel on Panichian here, possibly the best thing to happen for the Broncos in this half. And Shashua with the inbound to Kyle Marquise. He'll take it up. Kyle Wenkus now with it. Ooh, loses it, but Cherkis keeps it with him. Now back to Wenkus, now over to Shashua, back out to Wenkus. Wide open three to tie it is no good, and it's rebounded by Nader of Riverdale. He gives it over to Salick. Now back to his point guard duties. Salick gives it over to Nunez. No good, in and out. Corner three there. And it's going to go out on the Broncos here. So Riverdale inbound for Salick. He's going to give it to Nunez, trying to drive in. Out to Salick. Three-pointer is no good. Rebound to Shashua. And Cherkis. Over to Wenkus now. Now Marquise trying to drive in. One side of the court all to himself as now Shashua comes over, gives it over to Cherkis, top of the key. Cherkis with Kaza signaling. Gives it over to Wenkus. Wenkus into Kaza, looking for the layup, loses it, out to Cherkis. Now drives back in, gives it to Kaza, huge block there. It goes out on Riverdale, but Panichian will certainly have a lot to celebrate with that play. So Shashua with the inbound here. He's going to give it out to Marquise. Gives it to Shashua in the corner. Three ball, no good. And it's Nunez taking it up the court. Over to Salick.
Hands up, talk to each other.
Salick looking for a way around the double coverage of the Broncos. Gets a screen there from Panichian, but keeps it with him. Can't find a lane through. Gives it over to Nunez. Back out to Salick. And Thomas gives it back out to Salick into Panichian. A lot of passing here, trying to slow down the action. Now in to Nader, misses it, and steps out. So it'll be Kaufman here coming in for the Broncos. It'll be Jacob Cherkis coming out. Incredible effort tonight. We'll see if we see him again. But Shashua with the inbound to Kyle Marquise. Just under 5 to go in regulation play time. As you can see, it's a 3-point lead, for Riverdale. As Leo Kaufman will tie it, no good on that three-pointer. It's rebounded by Riverdale. Nunez has it. Nunez is going to give it to Thomas. Thomas loses it. It goes Hills' way. Wenkus had it. Now he loses it. A lot of falling and things that I can't call. And a travel here on Kyle Wenkus. It'll go back Riverdale's way. That's how we'll make sense of it all. 4 minutes 29 on the clock. Still a 3-point lead. No score changes since basically the start of this corner. But it's Nunez.
Your hands up.
Who gives it out to Salick. Over to Nader. Now to Salick. Now up to Nunez. And a foul here. Calls for a travel, but looks like not going to get it. It will be 2 from the line here. Or no, it'll be an inbound here. For Salick. Gives it out to Nunez. Corner 3, no good. Brought down by Liam Kaza. In double coverage, gives it out to Marquise, who brings it all the way up cross court to Shashua. Now Kaufman to tie it up. Gets it! And we're all even at 40. Now in heavy coverage, the Riverdale back tandem. Up now to Benicio. Gives it to Thomas. Thomas over to Nunez. Back to Thomas now. Into Nader. And Nader puts it up. No good, but a whistle here. And it'll be 2 from the line, it seems. Foul on Kyle Wankus, his 3rd of the night. So 2 from the line for Nader here. Makes the first 1-point lead. And Nader misses the second free throw. It's rebounded by Ari Shashua. 1-point lead. 3 minutes 30 on the clock here. Marquise over to Wankus. Wankus trying to put it up, gives it to Shashua. Now Kaufman for 3, and the lead! Back out front go the Pascack Hills Broncos by 2. Now in heavy press coverage. 3 men back for Riverdale here, as Nunez will take it up for the Hawks. 3 minutes to go. Thomas, no good on that long-range jumper, but Shashua and Marquise and the entire Bronco freshman team trying to burn some clock. Now Marquise over to Shashua. Shashua back to Marquise up top. Gives it over to Kaufman, who made the shot to put us up front. He's going to drive in. Gives it to Shashua. Sky high 3, no good. The call here, it will be an inbound for Riverdale. Foul on Liam Kaza, his 2nd of the night.
2 on Liam.
As Nunez. Ooh. And Salick with a few moves there that almost lost Kaufman, but Kaufman keeps with him now as Salick's got it again. Kaza trying to set a screen on the big man Panichian for Riverdale. 2 minutes 30 to go. It's a 2-point lead for Pascack Hills. In to Nader, he loses it. Kaufman brings it up. Spin move. Puts it up, no good, and it's rebounded by Riverdale. Panichian keeps it with him, gets hit in the face, no call. At least he pretended like he got hit in the face. Not saying he did or didn't. But now it's Nunez who loses it, but a foul call here. And it'll be on Marquise, much like the rest of the people in the auditorium, at least those who are supporting Pascack Hills. I was a little bit stunned by that foul call, but nevertheless, 2 minutes to go. Marquise's first foul of the night, we should mention. 2-point lead with 2 minutes to go in regulation time. Hills has the lead, but Riverdale with the ball. Salick with it now, gives it to Thomas. Well, that's a travel here. How about that? And it'll go Pascack Hills' way.
Hey, 15. Let's go. Let's get a great shot. Oh, hey, 3 up, 3 across. Hey, Leo, stay right here. Ari.
Shashua with it, gives it into Marquise. Marquise gives it over, bounce pass to Shashua, goes out and off the scorer's table right in front of us. Shashua gives it into Marquise now, he gives it over to Wankus. Wankus into Kaza. Kaza out to Marquise, almost loses it, keeps it with him. Now Wankus on the handoff there. Kaza out to Shashua. He's going to put it up, has it blocked, and rebounded by Riverdale. Still a 2-point game. Now just a minute 30 to go. As Nunez over to Thomas. Thomas out to Panician and in layup to tie it up. And a timeout here, it looks like, from Riverdale. That's their second of the day. 30-second timeout. Minute 15. We're all tied up at 43. We'll take a short break. Well, for those of you who have just joined us, you seem to have joined at the climax of what has been a topsy-turvy freshman game here between Pascack Hills and Riverdale. We're all even at 43, 1 minute 15 left in regulation time. It'll be an inbound here for Pascack Hills. Wenkus with it. He'll inbound to Kyle Marquise. Kyle into Kyle. Minute 10 on the clock for Marquise, who crosses over behind the back. Now Ari Shashua. Over to Kyle Wenkus, back to Kyle Marquise now. Gives it back to Wenkus. Over to Kaufman. Kaufman puts it up from the foul line. No good, but it's brought down by Kaza with a big fall. He's all good. But it'll go Riverdale's way here. 52 seconds on the clock, on the dot. No option but a full press to go with on defense here. Kaufman covering, but it's going to be Wenkus getting it back, who gives it out to Marquise. Over to Shashua. Shashua, 40 to shoot. Wenkus now over to Kaufman. Now to Marquise. Out to Wenkus, now Shashua. Now Kaufman. 30 to shoot, over to Marquise, who loses it, keeps it in, does not go out, but it goes Riverdale's way. Back on D, 15 to shoot. Nunez trying to bring it all the way down to 0.
11 to shoot on
There's the shot, the win, no good. Kaza brings it out. Kaufman for the win, loses it. And we're going to overtime. That's gotten everybody hyped up. We hope you've enjoyed those 4 quarters of regulation time. The freshmen Broncos are certainly hyped up to go. We're ready for overtime here. All even at 43. It's going to be a 4-minute period, it looks like, unless I'm mistaken. 1 minute break, we'll take it. So if you have just joined us, welcome in. This, I said it before, this seems to be the climax of what was 4 regulation periods. We're now in our 4-minute overtime period here, tied at 43. It's the Pascack Hills freshman game between the Pascack Hills Broncos, of course, and the Riverdale Hawks here. Once again, all even at 43, 4-minute overtime period. It'll be Kaza, Liam Kaza, and Panician in the middle on the tip. Tipped high up in the air. It's going to go to Pascack Hills. Marquise with it, immediately loses it. Nunez now with it for Riverdale as Kaufman backs off the full court press. Nunez over to Salick. Now back to Nunez. Nunez trying to drive in. Layup no good. Rebounded by Kaza. Kaza over to Kyle Wankus. And Wankus now back to Marquise. Marquise over to Ari Shashua. He's going to put up his sky-high three. No good, but it's rebounded by Kaufman. Kaufman puts up the short-range jumper. It's no good. Kaza gets the rebound. He makes a no-good shot. And now, foul call here. And it's going to go Riverdale's way. We're going to have to go to a radio broadcast here. So the deal is, it's Salick on the inbound here. He's going to give it into Nunez. Nunez driving up the court. He's going to get called for something, it seems. No, it's going to be a call on Kyle Marquise, his second foul of the day. We apologize for our difficulty here. Deal is, we're still tied at 43. Just about a minute burned here in overtime. 3 minutes to go. It is Nunez of the Riverdale Hawks taking it up. Nunez still with it up top of the key. He's going to give it over to Thomas. Now back to Nunez. Nunez for three, drills it. There's your first point of the overtime period, and it is a big one, 46-43. Marquise with it now. Spins around, no travel call there. Ari Shashua now with it, gives it to Marquise. Back out to Kaufman, who has it top of the key. Gives it into Marquise, just barely keeps it with him in bounds. As now Kyle Wankus over to Ari Shashua. Looking for something here, gives it to Kaufman. Ooh! And tipped, it goes to Nunez of Riverdale, and it looks like it'll be a foul here. On Marquise.
You know who the shooters are.
Looks like his third of the night.
In the middle, you're jogging.
So Giantonio will come in here.
Hey, he's got a shooter.
2 shots from Nunez here. Makes the first. That's going to be a 4-point lead. And now to put it up by what could be an insurmountable 5. He got it. 48-43 the score line. And Marquise takes it up for the Broncos. He's got Shashua on his left, but gives it to Wankus up front. Now back to Marquise, over to Shashua now. Covered by Thomas, now into Giantonio. He's going to give it to Kaufman. Kaufman here will get 1-and-1 from the line. It looks to be a foul on Salick of the Hawks here. Kaufman with it off the inbound from Giantonio. Gives it out to Shashua. Now Wankus. Wankus, top of the key, gives it out to Marquise. Now back to Kaufman here. Kaufman gives it to Wankus. 3-ball, no good. And it goes to Riverdale here. Minute 40 on the clock. 48-43 the score.
Match up. You're at 5. Match up.
Kaza looking to sub in here.
Get
As Nunez gives it on the handoff to Salick. He gives it. Almost gave it to, looked like Thomas there, but it was hit out by John Giantonio as Liam Kaza comes in for John Giantonio here. Starting 5, all back on the court, it looks like. Minute 24 on the clock, 5-point lead, 48-43 for Riverdale. As Nunez takes it in, puts up the layup, it's good. And there's a 7-point lead. So Marquise now. Just under a minute 15 to shoot. Overtime period as Yeshua trips and falls. Call will be on number 24, Thomas. It's his first foul of the night. And it'll be an inbound for Kyle Wenkus here. Minute 07 to go. 50 to 43 the score line. Riverdale with it. Yeshua sky high three, no good, and it goes Riverdale's way. Nunez with it. He's going to take it up. And when are they going to start to foul? Under a minute to go with a 7-point lead. Looks like this one might be out of reach. As now Sayalik back to Nunez, covered by Marquise. Looking to foul, I would guess here. No, not doing it. Over to Thomas. And timeout here. It's going to be for Riverdale. So, bottom line, here's the deal. Score is 50 to 43. It is Riverdale leading Pascack Hills. There's just about, I believe, 35 seconds on the clock. We're in overtime here. And unfortunately, for those of you rooting for the Broncos, it seems as though this one might be done. All right, ready to get back to action here. Once again, the score line 50 to 43. We apologize you cannot see the action. It's a little bit of a difficulty with our tracking camera here, which we hope to get fixed before our JV game. It'll be an inbound for Riverdale here. Sayalik with it. 2 fouls on the night, doesn't seem to matter. 35.2 on the clock. Sayalik on the inbound is going to give it to Nunez, but it's stolen by Marquise. Over to Wenkus. Wenkus puts it up. No good, and it's rebounded by Sayalik for Riverdale. Gives it up to Nunez, who's going to bring it up, wasting as much time as possible. And now the fouls will start. And it'll be the first foul of the night on Arish Yeshua. 2 from the line for Nunez, 1 and 1 from the line for Nunez. He's going to make the first 51-43 score line now. Nunez makes the second, and it's a 9-point lead for the Hawks here as Marquise takes it up the court for the Broncos. To 17 to shoot and counting. Shashua sky-high three, drills it. As a sort of consolation prize, I guess. 52 to 46 the score line, 9.7 on the clock, and another foul. This time it'll be on Kyle Marquise. And that seems like it'll be his 4th of the night, as we'll try and get your camera problem sorted. Score now 54 to 46 as Kaufman puts up a three, makes it to, looks like, end the game here. So there you go, in overtime, the final will be 54 to 49. Riverdale takes the win over the Pascack Hills Broncos. This is our freshman game, our first of 3 tonight. Coming up, the JV game right here on PH Athletics. You've been watching PH Athletics, your #1 provider of Pascack Hills sports. I'm Matthew Merlino. We'll see you for the JV game.